I've been out chasing tuskfish lately, and this is a bit of a follow-up video of one I did just a few days ago. And I had a lot of success with tuskfish on a curly tail grub that's a particular colour, pumpkin seed. If you haven't seen the video, I'll link that at the end of this one. But I just wondered, because they eat crabs so much, I grabbed a couple of smash crabs, and we're going to throw them around the same spot I was the other day, where I only caught one tuskfish, even though it was a good fish. And when I start throwing crab lures around, I'm going to catch a lot more, or the result's just going to be the same. So let's get after them. I've got to say, it's amazing what a difference a couple of days make. I was out here 2 days ago, you could barely stand up in the boat. It was so lumpy, and lots of storms about and stuff like that. But it's gorgeous morning this morning, so fishing may even be a little bit better because you can feel the lure a lot better when you get days like this. So that's one thing that's going to be in the crab's favour as opposed to the plastics I was using the other day. But I've just rigged this guy up. This is the junior of the smash crabs by Chase Baits. I've got that on a little loop knot, and I've used crab lures before, but not this particular one, so it's going to be a little bit different. But how I used to use them before is just walk them so slowly and just lift them over the rocks and try not to get them snagged up. They're fairly snag resistant, but I've got myself a handful of them in case I lose a few. But let's throw it around and see how we go. So the technique I'm using to work this crab is just little tiny pops off the bottom and drag it with the rod a little bit. So I imagine it's down there bumping over the rocks and doing its thing, but I'm sticking it to the bottom. I'm going to get a few snags, but I'm going to also be able to get this off the snags fairly easily. It's not a very snaggy lure, but I'm just working it very, very slowly. You never see a crab moving too quick. And see how we go. So I just spoke to Jeff, and he's on a day off as well, so I'm going to go in and get him, and I might get Jeff to flick a plastic around and see if he starts cleaning up on fish on plastics while I'm still throwing the crab, because I don't know, I don't want to bag the lure out because it looks fantastic, but a lot of lures are designed to catch fishermen, not necessarily fish, and this thing looks amazing. And like I said, I've gone for the darker colour and I still haven't got any bites on that in half an hour or so. And that was a good fish. Alright, so we're both in the water now. Jeff with his plastic and me with the crab lure. Look, you're going to catch a lot of fish on the soft plastics. There's going to be stripies and little finger mark and cod and all sorts of stuff, but we're specifically chasing tuskies, and I'm just hoping the crab lure works, and we'll just see how Jeff goes on the plastic and how I go just slowly rolling this crab. What? Bottom. Bottom. I went and picked Jeff up because I wanted Jeff to come out and throw some plastics to see if this lure isn't working or whether the fish are just off the chew, and we had just pulled up and Jeff's rigging up, and I did actually get my first fish on the crab. But we are chasing tuskies and not estuary cod, but at least we've got a fish on it. look at the size. That's
Like, talk about making a hatch, your crab.
the size of that. You take that and put him in the barbecue.
Not really what we're after, but
Even though creative crab, still just be killed that. Trout. Oh, looks pretty trouty. Oh, he's out. That's probably a tusky. Yes, oh, it's a trout. Not a big trout, but it's a good trout.
what do you reckon?
So,
Look at that sucker.
hard to judge the crab lure when we haven't got any tuskies though, isn't it?
You could if that was a cold trout.
Yeah. Getting everything but what we want on the crab lure, but at least we're getting fish on it now, but no tuskies. Well, I've been throwing this thing around for 4 hours. Got maybe 5 fish on it, no tuskies. Just been throwing a soft plastic for about 2 hours. Got a coral trouts, a couple of really big cod, a few bits and pieces, but so look, not a comprehensive experiment. I'll throw them around the reefs maybe where, you know, we might be catching a few tuskies. I'll put one on, see how they go. But look, they're difficult to fish. They're really slow to fish. It's hard to get a feel on them because they're really quite light, and you know, when they're on the bottom, it's hard to feel, especially amongst rock. But they're very snag resistant. They're a good looking lure in the water, and fish are eating them, but Jeff's well and truly outfished me on quality fish as well as numbers. So yeah, I might throw a plastic on before I go home and see if I can get some dinner and give the crab away for a little bit.